On June 16th, 2008, Caylee Marie Anthony was seen alive for the last time. She was 2 years old. Her grandfather kissed her goodbye at 12:50 in the afternoon. He never saw her again. For the next 31 days, her mother Casey told anyone who asked that Caylee was with a nanny, a woman named Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez, Zanny for short. In those 31 days, Caylee Anthony went to nightclubs. She entered a hot body contest. She got a tattoo on her shoulder blade. It read Bella Vita, beautiful life. On July 15th, her mother called 911. The nanny did not exist. She never had.
What made the Caylee Anthony case uniquely disturbing was not the crime itself. It was the psychology of the person at its center. 2 clinical psychologists evaluated Caylee Anthony during her time in custody. Neither found signs of mental illness. What they found instead was a person who had been performing a fabricated version of herself for most of her adult life. She had not graduated high school. Her parents believed she had. She had not been working at Universal Studios. Her parents believed she had. The nanny did not exist. Her parents believed she did. Each lie was not a deviation from her character. Each lie was her character. Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez. Caylee Anthony described her in precise detail. Age, height, ethnicity, family background, where she had studied, where her family lived. She said she had known Zanny for almost 4 years, that Caylee loved her, that she was the most qualified caregiver she had ever met. Police searched extensively for Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez. They found a woman by that name in Florida. She had never met Caylee Anthony. She had never met Caylee. She had nothing to do with the case. The specific details Caylee provided, the texture, the color, the history, were not the details of someone lying. They were the details of someone who had been rehearsing.
After Caylee was taken in for questioning, investigators asked her to take them to all locations of interest. She agreed. She directed them to multiple addresses, all fake. She then directed them to Universal Studios, where she claimed to have worked as an event coordinator. She led 3 senior investigators through the building for over 25 minutes. At the end of a long corridor, she stopped, put her hands in her back pockets, and admitted she didn't work there. She had not worked there in over 2 years. She had walked 3 investigators to the end of a building rather than simply say so.
When Detective Yuri Melich interviewed Caylee Anthony, he noted something immediately. She did not behave like a mother whose child had been missing for a month. She was cooperative, talkative, relaxed. She went into elaborate detail about subjects that had nothing to do with finding Caylee. Her work history, her finances, a story about a flat tire, a Mexican tow truck driver. Forensic psychology identifies this behavior as a defense mechanism, elaborating on irrelevant details as a way of delaying the arrival of a reality that cannot be managed. She was not avoiding the subject. She was postponing the moment she could no longer control it. Caylee Anthony was arrested and taken to the county jail on July 16, 2008. That evening,
She was given access to a phone. She called her family. The call was recorded. Her mother asked about Caylee. Casey's response was not grief. It was irritation. She complained about the media coverage. She asked for her boyfriend's phone number. She told her family not to come to her hearing. Her daughter had been missing for 31 days. She was in jail for the first time in her life. Her mother was crying on the phone. And Caylee Anthony was annoyed that people were making it about Caylee.
On December 11, 2008, a utility worker discovered skeletal remains in a wooded area less than a mile from the Anthony family home. The remains were later identified as Caylee Anthony. She had been wrapped in a Winnie the Pooh blanket and placed in a canvas laundry bag. Duct tape was found around the nose and mouth area of the skull. Her death was ruled a homicide. She had been there since approximately June 16th, the day her grandfather had kissed her goodbye. Whisper, less than a mile from where Caylee Anthony had been living the beautiful life. The clinical evaluators who assessed Caylee Anthony did not diagnose psychopathy. What they identified was a pattern more commonly associated with sociopathy, a condition shaped primarily by environment rather than neurology. From an early age, Caylee had learned that fabrication worked. When she lied about her graduation, her parents covered for her. When she lied about her employment, they believed her. When she lied about her address, they accepted it. Each lie that succeeded reinforced the same conclusion, that reality could be managed through narrative. The consequence was a psychology that had no internal mechanism for confronting truth, not because she was broken, but because she had never needed to be. The trial of Caylee Anthony began on May 24, 2011. The prosecution argued she had suffocated her daughter to pursue the life she wanted, free, unencumbered, without a child. Their evidence included internet searches for chloroform made from the family computer in the weeks before Caylee's disappearance, the duct tape found at the scene, Casey's behavior in the 31 days that followed. The defense argued the death was accidental, a drowning in the family pool, covered up out of fear. On July 5, 2011, the jury acquitted Caylee Anthony of first-degree murder. She was convicted only of lying to police. She served no additional time. She walked out of jail 12 days later.
3 days after Caylee's remains were identified, a memorial service was held. Caylee Anthony was not present. She was in custody. But investigators had assigned a surveillance detail to observe the Anthony family at the service. Their report noted that Casey's father was wearing a shirt with Caylee's face on it. The observation team documented Casey's mother breaking down completely. They also documented that in a recorded phone call from jail made that same day, Casey's primary concern was what her father's shirt looked like. She had been shown the image of her daughter's face and asked about the font.
What does the case of Caylee Anthony tell us? Not about one family in Orlando, Florida. What it reveals is something more fundamental about the relationship between identity and performance. Caylee Anthony had been performing a version of herself for so long that the performance and the person had become the same thing.
She was not lying in the interrogation room. She was being who she had always been. A person for whom reality was something to be managed, shaped, and presented. Her signature was not the tattoo. It was not the nightclubs. Her signature was the smile. The same smile in every room. Before the arrest, during the interrogation, at the trial. A smile that never changed, because the person wearing it never needed it to.
Every criminal leaves a signature. Let's read the next one.